Hey guys, what's going on? It's Roth. I'm here at New York Comic Con, and we're very excited to have with us Donal Logue, Sean Pertwee. Did I get it
That's
right?
actually perfect.
Boom! And Danny Cannon from Gotham. So let's just dive right in. These are obviously, I mean, you guys have talked a lot about this. These are beloved, iconic characters that you're reimagining here. I gotta say, and this is the absolute truth, man, I love Alfred. I love it. It's
Quite right
so
too.
fun and erratic and surprising and funny. You've talked a little bit like the reception. You know, fans tend to get invested in things. So talk a little bit about the reception and where you feel like you're going with the character.
Well, I think initially it was a little bit of a bumpy ride for some of the hardcore sort of fans because it's a side that you've never seen at an age you've never seen. But he develops as a man as well. I'm 30 years prior to the great Michael Caine sort of portrayal of the role, but it's the journey that he takes with Bruce, which is going to be an insanely difficult one. He's suffering from post-traumatic stress. He's lost both of his parents. Why would a valet, why would a butler, or someone who's been in the military, which we don't really know that at that stage, become an automatically wonderful, good influence and guiding star and a wonderful parent? He's no skills in that factor.
He's so ill-equipped, which is why it's awesome. That's why. Can you talk?
Incredibly well equipped at the same time.
Well, what's your sort of even being
I got
in the
to hang out with Alfred recently, and it was fun. It's good.
Talk a little bit about how you guys are kind of pulling in things that are from canon, frankly, and then just remixing them a bit.
Um, Thanks. um, yeah, no, it's a great pool to draw from. Unbelievable, 75 years of it. Yeah, no, but we have the luxury of going back in time, and back in time, less has been said about the origins of so many of these characters. So that's what we plan to do, is explore the people that are only flashbacks in the other movies.
How are you going to start to dig more and more? Are we going to start to learn a little bit about how you became this very hardened,
I think
to
so.
some degree,
I think you'll
heartless
learn.
guy?
Yeah, you'll really. We address it full on. Yeah. So there's a great. I would have. That's like, I always felt that he was that guy anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's kind of a confirmation of a suspicion I had, but. I'm just think the show's opening up a lot. We're interacting with other characters that we didn't interact with before, and so I think it's starting to really hit a stride that's incredibly fun and thrilling to be on.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the interesting things is there's very little difference between the cops and the criminals at this point, which is Gotham, right? That's a part of it. So where do you go from there? How do you build it? How do you escalate to the point that Bruce must become Batman? I mean, like, I feel like we need Batman now.
Well, yeah, we need somebody to fight these villains. So, but in order to get there, we have to find these villains first. I mean, what makes a villain? Why does suddenly somebody put on a costume and go to those great lengths to be arch and evil? Why does that happen? Going back into that and really starting from the beginning with these characters and finding a way to explain. Why would somebody's personality change so radically in order for these terrible things to happen? That's the exciting thing about the first season.
Now, for you, we know, of course, that part of your role, you're trying to get Gordon to your way of thinking. You know, you're trying to sort of push him along and lead him along, like, get over it, kid. Is there any part of him that starts to rub off on you?
Absolutely, he completely reawakens that dormant part of Harvey Bullock that was like, you were a decent guy that fought for the right thing.
At one point.
But I do think he needs to learn from me, and he needs to like start to be a little, smarter about the way he goes about. You can't just wade into Gotham and say, this is this and this is. He's a do-gooder, you know, and he starts to adapt a bit of my tactics to do his job.
And the do-gooding birthed the Penguin, right? Like, if
Yeah.
he had iced him like
That's
you
right.
asked him to, we wouldn't have the Penguin
Yeah.
to deal with, would we?
But that wasn't. It's not. It's well written. It wasn't. It's thought out. It's like sometimes you have to do bad things to do good.
Yeah.
And it was like, he's not a Boy Scout. He was in the friggin' war. And if it's based on the DC mythology, basically you're coming out of the most destructive war in the history of mankind. They've seen stuff, and it's like stuff has to. if you have to kill a Nazi to stop something deeper from happening, then friggin' do it.
Yeah.
You know?
What does killing that Nazi do to your conscience, and can you ever be righteous again? It's a lose-lose, and that's what Gotham is. It's like, you know, it's an entity that refuses to be changed.
I love rocks and hard. I mean, the best drama always comes from, is the rock or the hard place more uncomfortable? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you've got both on either side, and you have to do something about it.
You mentioned sort of Alfred has been in the military. We're going to start to see that explored a little bit more as well.
Yes, we're beginning to go down that path now, which, as Donal was saying earlier on, we're starting to shoot that. It's sort of very evident their dysfunctional relationship takes a definite wrong way turn around the roundabout. You know, he something happens to him as a chap that it's very difficult not to actually give anything away, isn't it?
It's very difficult not to give things away.
But basically, the path that you start,
You
he
can
starts
tell
to
us.
open up, and you basically find the hook to which Alfred connects with Bruce. So it's a decision, not necessarily everybody's favorite decision or the right decision, but it's his way of communicating with the young boy, helping him develop into the man. So that's a very big, definite flag in the sand when we make that decision, and it's coming soon, you know, and things will change from there. Sorry.
You've, you mentioned, of course, we have to be introduced to the villains. We're already seeing iconic DC characters. Can you tease any that might be coming up?
DC characters coming up. Yes, look at episode 7, Victor Zsasz. Which is a stunning portrayal, an early portrayal of that character.
He's great.
He's by Anthony Carrigan. All right, what else have I got for you?
We're listening.
Harvey Dent's pretty.
Harvey Dent, a very young,
though, right?
yeah.
That's not a real.
An Easter egg is Tommy Elliott. That I've done. So do you see your stunned? Tommy Elliott.
Who else do we have on the way?
Hey, did you write that one? No, and soon we'll be looking at Leslie Tompkins.
Really? And when might we
Sorry.
and when might we see that on the series? Are we going to be hearing about casting soon?
We'll be hearing about casting this week.
Might we hear about casting the second? No.
No.
What? What's
We're going to be hearing
on
about
here?
casting this week. Okay, that's good. What else? How might she might arrive on the show?
Because without giving too much away, Jim Gordon gets to meet her through strange circumstances when he is. Oh my God! I'll be giving it away. I can't. Yeah.
No. Stuff happens. People join, baby. Come on.
At a very tough time in Jim's life, he will meet Leslie Tompkins.
And do you have anybody else coming up?
That's all I'm gonna impart.
Said too
right
much
now.
already.
That's wonderful. We thank you for it. That's great. That's great, exciting news. Are there any characters that you guys are particularly excited to see come along and play against?
I don't think it matters. Like when Zaz came on and stuff, I think it was just exciting and thrilling to go. You guys are choosing from this treasure chest of villains. You pick it, and then we meet who it is. And it's fantastic portrayal. A lot of times it's younger than you've seen them before because it's so. I might like one from the comics, but it might not necessarily be as interesting as the one. You know, I would never have thought of that character, but that character was fantastic. So I'll just take what comes down the pike.
Is the sort of general structure going to be, because this is what it feels like to us, a lot of sort of villains are introduced, but the focus this season is the Penguin, and then it may shift again and again and again.
Yeah, no, he gives us our great through line because, as you said, when he doesn't kill him, they become very much a part of each other, and him and James Gordon. And so to watch Penguin's rise to the middle is very interesting, and all the damage that happens on either side of that.
Okay, well, we're definitely looking forward to seeing what's to come. I think we've seen a little bit of that already at the very end of last season, that last episode, and I'm sure that will have repercussions for you guys as well. Thanks so much for joining us today and for teasing a little bit of what's ahead for Gotham. That is awesome. For all things Gotham and New York Comic Con, do keep it locked right here to IGN.